Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Mediumcore. Starting off back here in my shopping district. Gonna buy stuff. Starting off today's episode back in the little market district that I've made. We've got two new shops. A big shop, all the market stalls, and today I'm going to be building a new shop, smaller shop in this corner here, and I might actually put another one of these little stands in front of it over here. But yeah, a shop right there, and then I want to build a small little hilltop something or other. I'll lower the hill a little bit, but not a lot. But then I'll build a small little hilltop build, and then that way I can start off with the speakeasy. The underground tavern, I suppose. Speakeasies wouldn't be invented yet, but yeah. That's the plan for today's episode. So, starting off over here, build a diagonal shop. That's going to be interesting. I think this one's going to be a bookstore, like entirely a bookstore. So this, but magnified. Yeah, bookstore. Alright, it is in place, and it doesn't look too bad from back here anyway. It's just a nice little connecting building. This is the only one with a chimney that actually does anything. But I've added two more of these little stalls, and then here's the building. It looks a bit plain because I didn't have a lot of space, and because not the greatest at building diagonally, but with bigger space I probably could have done something a lot better. And I went for actually a quite unconventional method of advertising what they own. There's just signs plastered all over the walls. But the inside, it's a bit bare because, again, not a lot of space. Just a little counter here, and a book corner, and then a ladder up here. And here there's a little fireplace, some drawers for basically a wardrobe on the ground, and then two separate beds. The librarian and his wife do not sleep in the same bed anymore. It's all very sad. But anyway, it looks a bit funky from up front, and eventually I'll probably detail these side paths with either leaves or barrels or something. But when you stand back here, it really helps tie the area together because I'm just working on surrounding this area. So that does add quite a bit here. So all that's left is, I think this might be the best way to get here, is to do a path sneaking around here, and then the build up here in this area. And I'm not quite sure how the build's gonna look, but I've decided that it's going to be not a shop per se. Instead it's going to be like the home of an artist, and you can pay for an art service, either getting something sculpted or getting something painted, jack of all trades kind of thing, because I've run out of shop ideas, and I think that's something you can actually probably lead a path from right here. But yeah, that's what I want to do in this area, and then of course underground tavern. So yeah, this area is actually really shaping up. I'm loving how this area's turned out, and I really want to see it at night, actually, once it's all done. I think it'll look cool at night. But yeah, best to get cracking. I originally planned on making this building diagonally, but I decided not to, so that I'd have more space to make the underground tavern. So it's just slapped in here right next to this building. It's actually touching up there, which I wasn't a fan of, but I didn't want to move it any further that way because there's already a huge gap in between them. But yeah, so this is it's much smaller, but that's the building I made, and the path up to it is right here. Just nice little, dark little artist studio, and because he's an artist, he can't afford a real bed or amenities or a nice floor. But yeah, that's this building. It looks much nicer on the outside, which I'm actually kind of surprised that this fits so well in this area, because when looking just at it, it sticks out horribly. But when looking at it with the rest of the builds, it actually looks pretty good. But that's that. And then here, got a little trodden pathway leading up to what will be the underground tavern. Just a little pathway right here, because it's not a place that nobody knows about. So there's obviously got to be a way to get there. And then it's right under the artist studio, and then in this area I want to build a really large tree to kind of fill this space. And I mean like really large, like bigger than anyone I've built so far. So I'm interested to see how this all goes. But yeah, that's the next steps of this build. Due to time constraints, I've elected that I'm going to build the tree in between episodes. Maybe not necessarily in between the next episodes, but at some point it'll be built off camera, and I'll try and remember to point it out. But yeah, the tavern is complete. So we've got this little down the stairs entrance. Got a nice little red carpet in here. Got a place to hang our hats and maybe deposit any weaponry. And then here we've got a little counter. Just say what we want to get, either ale, mead, stew, or bread, or combination of any of them. And then get our stuff. Here's where we can sit. And then down here is the staff room. We've got ale dispensaries and some stuff fermenting. And then this is where you get stew and ale. And then you can come up here, and this is how you access the counter. So it's nothing fancy, because it's not like an official tavern. Just a little underground thing for people who maybe aren't allowed in the city. But ultimately, I don't think it actually turned out too bad. I actually quite like it. It did take quite a bit of time to carve this all out, though. And honestly, just these last few episodes in general have all taken a really, really long time, because building all these shops was not easy. So I think I've actually put more time into the last few episodes than I have in most episodes. I think the episodes that have taken the longest, though, were like the Nether episodes, because that was a lot of work. But yeah, it was definitely worth it, though. I love how this area has developed into, honestly, a really big part of the base, and I really love how it's turned out. And I'm actually really proud of it. I think it all looks really good. So I'm really happy with this, and I'd say that's enough for me to call this a project finished. In the next episode, I'm going to be completely avoiding building, because I've done too much of it. I'll probably go caving, but yeah, I think it's a high note to leave off on this episode. That area has completely expanded the base hugely, and in a good way. So yeah, that's all I'm going to do for today's episode of Minecraft Mediumcore. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.